seek out new life and new civilizations, to explore strange new worlds, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy Star Trek Live's Mud's Women!
Today to Mr. What Planet, welcome the Oasis ladies of Star Trek. Laura, you co-wrote or you co-directed?
I directed this show with Darcy, with Darcy Drollinger, and helped put together the script, and the music and the sounds and all of those kinds of things. We did change a few things, but Trekkies are definitely impressed by how faithful we are to the original show, especially in the costuming and the wigs. All of that is really spot on.
Very amazing work in the costume and the scenic department.
The captain's chair is a crowning achievement for this show, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Being in the crew is pretty fabulous. It is to wear the uniform and be Bones as a lady. I've been watching Star Trek since I was a wee lassie, so it's great to have us all up there in drag.
Oh, but it's frustrating. Almost 1 million gross tons of vessel depending on one hunk of crystal the size of me feast.
This show is specifically a restoration of a episode, so we're really sticking close to that script.
It's not supposed to do that.
And why is Star Trek or why is a science fiction episode particularly well suited for a drag adaptation?
Well, because the whole episode is about, these women are, being kept beautiful by taking this Venus drug, and if they don't take the drug, then they're considered ugly.
Right. It's a
Or they
very
feel
traditional.
ugly.
It is
way.
a very traditional. So I think just our skewering of it and making fun of those. I mean, we don't have to add dialogue to make fun of those assumptions
takes care
and
of
all of that.
itself.
It really does.
Going through
You
the
know.
whole script in general, if you highlighted all the lines that are ripe for innuendo, it's like the whole script would be yellow.
It's the Star Trek episode, but just twisted, twisted around. Like Zelda said, the Trekkies are so
Amen to that, Scotty.
ravenous for Trek that if we change too much, I think that they would get upset. They want to see what they love on stage.
And the jokes that we're making are jokes that almost they already have made. Like, there are certain aspects of the show that are lampooned on our show in a very affectionate and reverent manner. And for them, it's almost like, that is the joke I've been making all my life, and now they're doing it on stage. And so it's almost like we're all doing an in-joke together.
And I imagine a lot of the joke is in the delivery, given
Exactly.
the character and the casting that you have going on there.
The great things about our show is that it is all drag, where a lot of shows are with drag. It could be all men, but our show, we have drag kings. All of the male roles are played by women. All of the female roles are played by men.
No decipherable reading on females. However, unusual reading on male crew members. Detecting high respiration patterns, perspiration rate up, heartbeat rapid, blood pressure higher than normal, genitals engorged.
That's sufficient.
There's a good equal amount of ladies and guys. So we have the crew is about four or five people, and then you have Mud's Women, which is 3 and 4 people, and so you have a good equal amount of, I'm just guessing, of guys to play girls and girls to play guys.
Yeah, it's hard to find episodes that have that. There's usually a hot babe. At least, there's usually one hot babe.
One hot babe, but now we got
But
three hot babes.
That's the thing about Mud's Women. Yeah, 3 hot babes. It makes it, it's more fun to look at.
Yeah.
So
And all of them the perfect height for me.
Boobs in your face.
Boobs in my face.
I actually staged Mud's Women about 10 years ago in a warehouse south of Market, and which is part of the reason why we selected this episode, because we already had an idea about staging it and that it worked. And it's difficult finding Star Trek episodes that are stageable in a theatrical setting because, you know, it's space, the final frontier. It's not always that amenable. And also they had an awful lot of people, aliens, you know, all the crew. And so, you know, we have to be mindful of not having such a, you know, giant cast. We have 10 people in our show, and that's about, you know, the least amount of people that you can do a Star Trek episode with.
Tell us a little bit more about the cast in the show and who you're playing with.
Lee Crow, obviously. I think we're billing her as the world's only female Kirk impersonator. And oh boy, she loves sitting in that chair.
and she was in the latest documentary about Takei, if I'm correct.
She was wearing, I think, the same costume.
That's right.
In the movie that she is in the show.
I play Mud. I'm in the show. And it's fun. I think it's really powerful for people when they see the, you know, when the lights first come up and they see the bridge of the Enterprise with all women. I mean, well, and Honey Mahogany as Uhura, and she's fabulous.
Sense reading on the vessel, Captain. I see it as a small Class J cargo ship, and its engines are superheating.
And if you're not familiar with the Oasis, you should definitely check it out, sfoasis.com. Pretty much the top-notch destination for San Francisco drag. And the best news of the year, really, last year that a performer and performers from the community were taking it over and have had a stellar programming since.
The Oasis is a clubhouse for artists, performers, singers, drag queens. It's the best of queer culture, and it is something that is open, you know, to everyone. I want straight people, gay people, trans people, everyone here, but what we are serving up is the best of queer culture.
You know, there really was a void that the Oasis came in and filled. There was no house of that size. It seats roughly, you know, 100 and something people for acts to come in from, well, acts from here and acts from out of town, where a welcoming place that, you know, can hold a lot of people, has a bar, has a stage, has the sound. It's so well equipped for a performance, you know, great dressing room, all of those elements, you know, great location for people to come to. And there really isn't any other place like it anymore.
It's a proper
town.
Venue.
Right.
So many of these shows, so many of these fantastic drag shows have been performed anywhere you could find a place, anywhere that had a semblance of a stage, like you'd be changing in the kitchen. Or,
absolutely. When
you know,
we did Mud's Women 10 years ago in a warehouse that's probably knocked down in a condo now south of Market, we did change in the kitchen, actually.
Yeah. When they did Shin Champagne, it was at the Rebel, and that was changing in the kitchen.
This is turned into a sushi restaurant. And so this is the last show that can use the kitchen as a dressing room, and there's no other space to do a show of this size. So we can do one-person shows, but actual theatrical shows will have to end. So this is really the last night, the end of an era.
A year ago, we were doing shows at Rebel, which was a little tiny bar up on Upper Market, and it closed, and it felt like everything was over. And in a year, the combination of working with my business partners, you know, finding the right space, having the community rally behind us, we have opened the Oasis, which is now one of the premier clubs in the city, the gorgeous stage, and really a clubhouse for the community.
This is a venue that's a real venue. It's a bar, it's a stage. There's nice bathrooms for all the patrons to go to, and there's a bathroom in the changing room. I mean, wow, you know, it's the little things. It's the little things.
And there's even Vulcan and Captain tables with champagne being served. So I guess the show is catering to the whole range of San Franciscans, the drag aficionados of years before and the new crowd. Would you notice these different people mingling at Oasis?
Definitely, yes. One of the reviews said that this show is a is a joy for nerds and perverts. So I fully endorse that. And I think it's great to so many of our fans are the Trekkies. I've talked to them. I said, have you ever been to the Oasis? And they're like, no, I didn't even know this place was here. I said, you got to come back because there's all sorts of good things happening here. And they're all really excited about finding out about the venue and coming back.
And at the same time, I've also talked to people who have never even seen Star Trek. You know, they might came along with their friends and they can't believe what a great time they had because it's hysterical, even without that background.
This show is also a great example of the TV that was happening at that era. So it's like a time capsule of 70s TV shows.
We have trivia, Stump the Captain.
Stump the Captain, yes.
After intermission.
Which Lee Crow does. She hosts it herself, so she's up on that stage.
Yeah.
How about some questions about this particular episode, Mud's Women? An early episode, ladies and gentlemen. They made a few changes after this episode. For instance, we're calling the power source lithium crystals. Later, they call them... Yes. Very good, Starfleet cadets. Excellent.
It's really fun.
We have lip sync. Honey does a lip sync at the end.
Go-go dancing in the middle of the play.
Yeah, so it's not just Star Trek. It's a whole experience.
It's a whole experience, yeah. And the traditional San Francisco experience or classic San Francisco experience.
Every night we've done the show, there have been people there in costumes.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you for visiting Planet
Thank you
Wa.
so much.
Lori, Zelda. So this is happening for another few weeks at SF Oasis. sfoasis.com, Star Trek Live Mud's Women. Stellar cast of San Francisco drag players. We got Jeff Valentine, we got Lee Crow, we got Zelda and Lori that were here with us. We got Jordan Lamore, Honey Mahogany, Persia. So check it out. Get your tickets, sfoasis.com. Beam it out.